Hey y'all, and welcome back to another stream. Today we are continuing our story, our spooky story. And so, just double checking a couple settings here. Dang it, I had the desktop audio turned off again. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, we are back. We've got the ambient music now going. But now we are going ahead and we're getting back to the story. I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to double check a couple things. There it goes. I don't know, for some reason my system has a tough time linking my bot with the YouTubes, so there's sometimes issues with that, so I apologize. But I got it figured out now. Yay! Right? And hopefully next time it won't happen. But for now, we are going ahead and we are going to continue to write. Just a couple of things that I usually just put out at the start. I have ads that run at the start or once an hour. I think I'm actually going to add ads to the end of the stream, just because people who want to support me, they can lurk around for, however many minutes, and support me that way before they move on to wherever else. But otherwise, we have a 1-minute ad every 60-ish seconds, starting about 30 minutes into the stream. Just so that you guys are aware, that is for the Twitch viewers, the YouTube viewers. You don't have ads currently, unless you're watching this as a VOD or something, and then in that case, I don't have any control over the YouTube ads. Sorry. But on the Twitch side of things, if you get their Twitch Turbo or whatever it is, Twitch Prime, no, not Twitch Prime, I think it's Twitch Turbo, then you can avoid ads, or you can subscribe to me and you can avoid ads that way too. I do have a sub goal of 5, plus currently if you use Discord, for every, I think it's a subscription that you gift, let me double check. Yeah, if you purchase or gift a subscription, you get 3 months of, I think it's up to 3 months of Discord Nitro. So, there should be a pop-up on your Twitch stream that talks about that. As always, no pressure, just a couple of options for you. I am enabling these ads to help get money for myself at this point. I am not struggling, but I could use the extra income at this point in time. Please and thank you. If you don't feel like subbing, but if you want to support me, I do have commissions open on my Ko-fi page. There you can also just straight up donate, or as a one-time thing, or you can set up like monthly donations to become basically a membership. If you want a membership, it basically just gives you a free Discord channel in the Onia Discord. That Discord channel has some of my past NaNoWriMo rough drafts available for perusal. And you can also get discounts on the Ko-fi commissions if you so choose. But that being said, all that rambling done, I won't mention it again for the rest of the stream, probably. Big probably. But let's go ahead and actually get to the point of the stream, which is to write, right? So, yeah. Alright, so I'm going to actually just reread chapter 8 real quick. And I'll read it out loud for you guys too. Once again, Emily was startled away from her slumber. This time, there was a vampire, a room full of mossy walls, and a child sitting huddled in the middle of the room, staring expectantly up at her. In her panic, she couldn't recall what had happened in the dream that forced her awake. She just knew that she was sheathed in sweat and that she was having a difficult time calming down. Like always, her eyes swept over her room, the streetlight a few houses down doing its job to barely illuminate the room around her. Her furniture, her luggage, and even her closet doors were all alien in this light. Excuse me. As her eyes finished their sweep of the room, she noticed a brighter light visible barely in her periphery. Turning over, she noticed that her phone charger was emitting a dark blue light, the indicator that it was working on charging her phone. It was normally this dark to avoid overnight interruptions for normal sleepers who might have a moment outside of sleep and to reduce the likelihood that the light would prevent a return to sleep. I'm probably going to omit this entire line, but waking moment makes more sense as it's kept in. If anything was going to prevent Emily from returning to sleep, it certainly would not be her phone charger, at least not while she was living in this household. Curious, she reached over and swiped up on her phone to see her notifications. One notification was a reply she had been waiting for, though the contents were not quite what she had expected. "I'm sorry, who is this?" was the reply that Emily received. Didn't she introduce herself in the first message? She unlocked her phone and scrolled up slightly to read over what she had sent last night after downloading the messaging application and adding him, I'm going to say Clark, using the information she gathered from her family's computer. "Hey, you don't know me, but I'm Dennis and Mary Jo's daughter. They said you slept in my room once and had a nightmare. Can you tell me about your nightmare?" Wasn't that enough information? Did he really need her to prove her identity? She double-checked the username she had used on the application, and it certainly had her name on it, which she knew was not a safe practice, but she didn't intend to use the application beyond this communication. With a disappointed sigh, she put her phone aside and thought about laying back down. She didn't want to lay back down. She was awake. The nightmare and the phone saw to that. From her time on the phone, there could be a better way to word that, but I'll leave that to editing. From her time on the phone, she saw that it was nearly 4 in the morning. It wasn't too terribly early. She could feasibly wake up this early and get some chores done around the house or something. At least start a pot of coffee or two. She called to her device to turn the room lights on and proceeded to get ready for the day. As she was getting dressed, she thought about how she could respond to Clark's message. Maybe there really was more than one Clark, but they had the other one saved to their computer? That would explain the response she got. Still, wouldn't this Clark know that Mary Jo and Dennis had a daughter? Why the question about who she was at that point then? It just didn't make any sense to her. In her tired state, Emily felt a momentary urge to throw a fit. Instead of pulling clothes from the closet, she wanted to rip them all down, bar and all. Instead of keeping her luggage tidy and in a corner, she wanted to rip the zipper asunder and dump all the clothes she had brought and scatter them across the room. She wanted to wipe her arms across the tops of her dressers and scatter all the trinkets and jewelry cases and makeup boxes that she had meticulously displayed and create a chaotic environment. In that brief moment of allowing anarchy to attempt to seduce her, she even thought about flipping her bed onto its side, just to show how fed up with a damn piece of furniture she was. It was all just a momentary daydream, though. Emily was not raging throughout her room. She was in the middle of pulling on a long-sleeve shirt. With a shudder, Emily shook the desire away and finished getting dressed. Do, 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 do. Ooh, okay. She knew that even if she had given into that desire, she wouldn't be able to do all of that. She wasn't strong enough to pull down the closet bar or flip her bed over. Maybe tossing her clothing around and ruining the items on sure. Still, she didn't want to go through all of that. Mostly because there was no real reason to. Mostly because there was no real reason to. What would she accomplish by doing all of that? Partially, she had to admit that the imaginary mess was going to that the imaginary mess would be so bad, cleaning it up was going to be a pain. And she didn't want to have to deal. Interesting. My hand brushed a keyboard key and it popped up a search window. And I have to deal with a pain of a mess to clean up. Sitting back down on her bed, she picked up her phone again and began to look at the other notifications just in case something caught her eye. She was going to eventually put on a pot of coffee, but if she started moving around the house this late, it was going to likely wake up her parents early. And she did not want to do that. Notifications about special Black Friday sales were popping up all over her device. If they weren't from applications or online stores that she regularly used or visited, it was from the navigation page that recommended updated information that it felt the user might want based on its algorithm. Okay. Sleepily, Emily scrolled through a handful of those notices. She wasn't in any particular need of anything new that Black Friday deals could prompt her to buy. But But she knew that sometimes unexpected deals came out of nowhere. Emily? A tired voice. Shocked. A tired voice that came from the other side of her closed door shocked the young woman, causing her to jump and the phone to slip out of her hands and onto the floor. Her mother's voice came again. Yeah. Emily coughed as she stood up and opened the door to find her mother wrapped in a royal purple robe standing opposite of her, on the other side. I noticed the light was on. I wanted to make sure. Mary Jo stated, sleepiness in her voice. Just another nightmare, Emily said, almost nonchalantly. I decided to stay up this time. She paused and then tilted her head at her mother. She tilted her head questioningly. Why are you up? Mary Jo chuckled and shook her head in disbelief. Don't get old. I swear that last piece of pumpkin cheesecake did not, is not agreeing with my stomach. Stomach troubles? Something like that. Don't worry about that. It'll fade. In my old age, she quipped with a self-deprecating laugh. Self-deprecating laugh. Guys, don't get old. So this be a lesson to y'all. Do 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 do. No promises, as she always did when her mother made that. Oh, oops. Okay, Emily said, trailing off, not exactly for how to carry on a conversation. And hey guys, I hit 10k words! We made the goal! Yay! Clap! So tomorrow we'll be playing a game, not sure which game. Potentially instead of writing, or like he'll do half of it while playing game, half of it writing. Depends on how my day goes tomorrow and how much time I have to stream too. Let me put up a couple polls. Let me go to YouTube first. I don't know how to do this. How to add a poll. Maybe this one will have it. No, I'm not seeing it. Dang it. I'm having a heck of a time figuring this out. Maybe I need to go to the other dashboard. Oh, there's literally an engage with your audience button that I wasn't seeing. Alright. What game should we play tomorrow? Warcraft. Main story. Final Fantasy XIV. Leveling alts. Palia. Making friendos. What are my other games? I feel bad. Oh yeah, another Eden. Main story. No, we'll just leave it at those three. Hi, Penguino Man. I think it's pretty cool that you wrote something similar. I actually got this inspiration from a Ghost Stories podcast, where basically somebody had something similar as well. Unfortunately, it doesn't give me inspiration on how to end this story, but I've got an idea on how I want to end it. Harlow? Alright, hey Harlow, how's it going? Oh, gotcha. It's just basically the girl goes back to her home for Thanksgiving after not being there basically for 6 years, at least not sleeping in there for 6 years. And she's just always had nightmares sleeping in that room basically since she was a teenager. She finds out that a couple other people who have slept the night in her room, like as a guest in the house, have also had nightmares, and currently she's trying to find out more about their experiences. I don't quite know how I'm going to end the story, but it's going to be a short story, so there's probably not going to be beyond 25,000 words or something like that. That's the quick, that's the long and short of it, though. Yep. Alright. I have a poll in here. So there's a poll up for YouTube for what we're going to play tomorrow. I'm putting a poll in here too. Story, Final Fantasy 14, Love Bullying Alts, Kalia, Making Friends. Only 10 minutes? Okay, fine, we'll do a 10-minute pool then. Alright, so that's that for now. Yours was a poem? Well, I can see how a poem would be nice and concise. And yeah, who knows? We'll see. She probably won't die. Alright, so I'll let that poll sit for about 10 minutes and then we'll see the results. Alright, so let's see. And yeah, right now the main character is basically talking with her mom. Noticing her daughter's reluctance to carry on the conversation, Mary Jo just shrugged. Oh, I'm glad that you're okay. Checking upon you. I was just checking up on you. Didn't mean to startle you or anything. You're fine, Mom. She reassured her mother. Do I have I've written a couple of stories, cosmic horror, off-the-wall horror. I wouldn't say I'm great at it. But I've written a few spooky-ish pieces, yeah. Go back to bed. I might coffee in an hour or so. Her mother gave her a half smile. Or we could stay awake together. I'm getting back to bed. I'll go make some coffee. Come down when you're ready. Emily looked between herself, already dressed, for the morning, and her mother with only her robe. I don't know why that happened. Oh. Emily looked between herself, already dressed for the morning, and her mother, who was only wearing her robe with a nightgown underneath. How about we do the reverse? I'll grab my phone, or I'll make a pot and a cup in a few minutes, and then you can come down once you're ready. Joe chuckled tiredly. Sure, we can do that. I'll be down in a bit. Energy already drained from her voice. She turned and walked down the hallway back to the room she shared with Dennis. The young woman shook her head and returned to her room. She crouched down to pick up her phone. As she was bending over to, as she was reaching toward her device, she spared a glance at the space beneath her bed. It was relatively open, save for a couple of Tupperware boxes. I want to say a couple of plastic totes that housed some of her childhood books and belongings. Everything else was dust and carpet. Was open air or dusty carpet. There we go, I like that better. Shaking her head. Another brief moment of nostalgia came over her. Emily remembered the day she rearranged her room to give it more space by removing the bookshelves. So she had room, so she could sit a desk in there for her high school studies. The items on those bookshelves: books, packages of stickers, a couple of small statuettes, a couple of toys, And some other items she really couldn't remember at this point are all tucked away in those totes. Maybe later in the day, she'll have to pull them out. Maybe later in the day, she'll pull them out and go through them. Oh, it's a trip down memory lane. That's a line that'll get edited later. For now, she promised her mother coffee. Alright, next chapter. Alright. You reached out to Clark? Mary Jo asked, blinking in surprise. She held her mug, her half-filled mug of coffee in her hands. I think so? Slid her phone across the table to her mother. Oh, looks like the poll ended. Okay, looks like we got a vote for Palia. Palia wins. We will be playing Palia tomorrow. Again, it's either going to be part of the stream or the full stream, depending on how long I have to stream tomorrow. So thank you all for taking part in the poll. All right. Okay, scrolling up. Give the new chapter the full page. The full page. All right. Okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted by a couple things. Alright, I think so. Emily asked and slid her phone across the table to her mother. Her mother looked the phone over. Looked at the phone already on the page that Emily already on the contact named Clark that Emily had added the previous night. That's him, alright. She muttered before bringing the cup up to her lips again. Why do you think he would ask that? Emily asked, holding the phone back to her. Maybe he just wants to confirm it's you? Mary Jo offered. A lot of weird people on the internet. You know? Maybe. Emily conceded, looking down at the message that Clark had responded to her with, wanting to know who this was. Nah. That responded to her with, should I reiterate that I'm your daughter? Will you use my name? Wouldn't be a bad idea. Mary Jo. Mary Jo answered. I think he works tomorrow. Swing by the shop. If you want, we can swing by the shop and you can ask him directly. Oh, sorry about that. Just had to get the wiggles out. Speaking of wiggles, I'm checking something real quick. Alright, making sure that that was on pause. Okay. Wouldn't be a bad idea. I think he works tomorrow with your father. If you want, we can swing by the shop and you can ask him directly. She offered, since no one would be at the shop. No one's working there today? Sorry. A piece of tech that's not working right. It's not affecting the stream, except for my distractions. So. Okay. No one's working there today? No. Mary Jo chuckled at that question. Your father's and his team are getting on in years. Plus, very few people need their cars repaired the day after Thanksgiving. It's usually the week up to Thanksgiving. It's usually the weeks before the holidays that are the busy. periods. She explained. I think he put something on the door, though. On the door about emergency calls, though. With a wink, she added, just in case anyone wants to get defeated. With emergency pricing. Of course. Of course. Of course, Emily chuckled. She was glad that her father would be home today. With the family. And it made sense that people wouldn't need their cars fixed at this point in the holiday. But she felt weird about him being on call for emergencies. What if they were already in the middle of something? And although she couldn't fault him for charging emergency prices for emergency situations like that pulled him away from family, she did internally hope it wasn't anything outrageous. Her father was a reasonable man, however, so he probably wouldn't do anything like double his prices. Not that it mattered, she told herself. It was his company, so he could set the prices however he wanted. And then he set the prices however he wanted. He did however he wanted. It was up to the consumer to decide if they wanted to use his business or someone else's. That made Emily stir in her thoughts. Are all the auto shops closing today? I don't know. Mary Jo answered with a shrug. It's possible. Going around to poll them to ask. It's also possible that they've been doing it for a long time. Your father's just now caught onto the trend.
Trying to figure out where I want to go with this chapter. We got the preamble. Got a preamble, and we got a bit of a roadmap for where we're going in the next chapter or two.
But up to the consumer. All right. I don't know, Mary Jo answered with a shrug. It's possible, but it's not like I've gone around and pulled them to ask. I see. Emily. Sipping from her own coffee mug. Still figuring out what I want to do. Alright, I see Emily answers from her own coffee mug. Anyway, her mother continued the conversation. What are your plans for today? Nothing really. Nothing? Won't you go shopping? There's always great deals. She commented. Her mother commented. Yeah, but nothing that I really want. Lulu said with a shrug. I was thinking about maybe pulling out some of those boxes from under my bed. And going through those. Your father. No, I'm not gonna worry about that. I was thinking about maybe pulling out some of those boxes from my bed and going through those. Oh, that'll be fun. Her mother chimed. That'll be fun. What's that? Her mother has a thought. Just going to go through to hoe. for memory's sake. Sort them and donate some of your items. I'm not sure yet. Emily admitted. I think it depends on what's all in there. I don't remember. I don't think I remember half of the things that are in there. Books and dolls, mostly. Couldn't even tell you which books, though. I think a couple of the ones from that babysitting series. I wouldn't be surprised if they were in there. Her mother acknowledged. If you don't think you'll use any of the items you uncover, though, and they're in good shape, make sure to put them in a separate pile. I can take them. One sec. I can take them to a thrift shop. A thirst shop? Ooh. Wonder what a thirst shop would look like. A thrift shop. Next week. Emily nodded in thought. I can do that. Her mother smiled, pleased. Alright, one sec, guys. Alright, sorry about that. And thank you all for your patience. I just realized what time it was. About an hour, well, less than an hour before we will wrap it up for the day. But yeah. We're making good progress, and tomorrow we will play some Palia. I'll let y'all know when I go live, if it'll, like, how long we'll be playing for, and if it'll be start a stream, end a stream, or the full stream. But yeah, so that's where we are. Where are we at in the story? She's sitting with her mother. She's going to go through her things. She's also going to talk to the guy tomorrow. Okay. I just started chapter 9, yeah. Try to make it to the end of this page, and then we'll go to chapter 10. Okay. You know, we haven't learned much about Emily. Like, we know she hasn't been home. Well, we know she went to college and became an adult. We don't know what her career is in or anything like that. So, that's what we'll do. A cup on the table, but keeping it encircled with her hands. So, her mother began. Tell me about your apartment. So tell me about how you're doing. How you're doing. What do you mean? Emily asked. Brows furrowing. I told you earlier. Another nightmare. Not that. Her mother shook her head. I mean about your apartment in the city. I know you've been asked. I know you were asked. On your job last night by a few people, but your answer was always generic, like it's fine or I'm happy with it. But I want to know the details. Mom, Emily began. You were up to visit over the summer. You know the details. Nope, not listening. Mary Jo countered. And yes, this is kind of filler, but it could also help flesh things out a little bit. Okay. Sorry, I distracted myself again. Nope, not the same, Mary Jo countered. How are your neighbors? How's the commute to work? What is it that... Exactly introduce us to your workplace when you visited. Sighing, Emily gave in. My neighbors are fine, and they're just fine. I don't know them well enough to say anything else. I guess they're not rude? Rude or loud? So there's that. So there's that. I walk to work. So I get my exercise. And if it's a nasty weather day, get a ride share. I mean, it's not bad at all. What's this error? Yeah, no, I like what I said. Okay. You asked what I do? Yes. It's nothing fancy right now, Emily admitted. I'm just an office assistant for a industry. We'll go with lawyer. Or a lawyer's office. You're a legal assistant? No, Mom. I don't know why I capitalized that. Office assistant for a legal office. They're two totally different things. I schedule appointments. Keep the office tidy. Things like that. A legal assistant looks up things in law and stuff. And knows word book. Isn't that what you went to school for? She asked. Kinda, Emily said, sitting back in her seat. She was starting to feel anxious with this line of questioning from her mother. Gosh dang it, why is it doing that? Stop it. I don't know why you're doing this. I went to school for legal, for data entry. I might have to edit this later, but I went to school for legal analysis, but not to be a lawyer or a legal assistant or anything like that, or anything that actually involves the trial stuff. If you went to school for it, then why aren't you doing it? Her mom asked, blinking. Emily wondered if her mother's tiredness... Oh, that's another reason why I wanted this scene. Okay. If her mother's tiredness was impacting her ability to to realize the situation. Actually, I'm gonna make this its own. Yep. With a sigh, the young woman answered. Currently, there are no openings for an entry-level law analyst. Scrolling up a little bit. At the side of the young woman answered, currently there are no openings for an entry-level law analyst. Law clerk? Maybe that's what I was thinking of a minute ago, but that's fine. There are no openings for an entry-level law analyst. So, in the door, in the field, in an adjacent way. I'm keeping my eyes open for new opportunities. But for now, this helps to pay the bills. I see. Her mother said softly, sipping her coffee with a contemplative look on her face. Mom, if you're tired, you should just go back to bed. Mary Jo chuckled. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted, she admitted. But I don't think I do end up going back to bed. You haven't had any issues in the last hour, Emily pointed out. Not that I've seen anyway. Aside from the coffee. I don't have anything that would keep you up. Excuse me. Whew. Not that I've seen anyway. Aside from coffee, you probably don't. That would keep you up. Maybe after this cup. I'll give it a try. Her mother. Her mother stated, "Are you going to do your boxes after I leave?" Probably. Oh, don't throw anything out. Just look at it. She cautioned, standing up. Her mother. She cautioned. Before bringing her cup up to her lips and then pulling it away again with a look of surprise and disappointment on her face. "That was fast," she mumbled. Mumbled? She mumbled. Emily chuckled. I won't. I promise. Excuse me. Oh, the sleepiness has already come back. 30 minutes though, we can do this. Alrighty. Alright. I mean it. Mary just said as she got up from her seat. Looks like it should be thrown out. Still try to donate it. Or at least gift it. Still try to donate it. Maybe even sell it. Still try to donate it or refurbish it. State where it can be donated. Knowing her mother was not going Yes, Mom. I'll keep all the items I don't want to keep in a pile for you to go through. She knew her mother. But then her paint's faded. Why would that? I'm having a clash of thoughts here. Oh man, excuse me. I want to keep in a pile for you to go through. Ba-ba-ba. she had a feeling that her mother would salvage some of the items. Some items that might be damaged. That if any of the items were damaged, her mother might try to salvage them for donation. Just the type of woman her mother was. Mary Jones. Fix it before you check it. Someone who was always trying to fix things before declaring them unusable. I don't know why I keep missing those important words. That's so honestly frustrating. It's okay. Excuse me. Good. Mother declared. She stopped by Emily on her way out of the kitchen, bent over to kiss her on the crown, and whispered, "Good night." When I get up later. For an hour. Whichever. Still need to remember to tell Kofi Bot to cool its jets. Or actually, no, Kofi Bot's fine. I need to just get my helper bot to not say hi. Anyway. Back to this. Oh, excuse me. Whichever. And then began to trudge up the stairwell. Left alone, Emily looked down at her cup of coffee. She would like to go to bed. I think that was mine. The nap she took yesterday in her mother's bed, in her parents' bed, was reinvigorating. Of course, she couldn't do that now. She could ask to do it later in the day, but right now, I'm going to be sleeping in her father while he was most assuredly, most likely still asleep. Well, he will likely get up soon, was most likely still currently deeply in bed, in a deep sleep. And maybe I can clean out under the bed. Sleep beneath it. She muttered. She muttered to herself in contemplation. Then she shook her head. That's silly. She recalled a time that's silly. It's not the bed. She recalled a time she first started getting the nightmares and associated it with her bed. She tried to sleep in different areas of her room. The nightmares still came. She tried to sleep in different areas of her room in a bid to avoid the terrible dreams. The nightmares still came. Her lips pursed and thought, if the bed, if it was the room and not the bed, then why did she think that a new mattress would have helped? The new mattress topper definitely didn't do any good. And considering when she tried the new spots as a teenager, she was in a sleeping bag, not her mattress. And in her recollection, the new mattress topper didn't do any good. In her recollections, when she tried the new sleeping spots, she was in a sleeping bag, not her mattress. It stood to reason that the nightmares would continue, even with the new mattress, even if it was the most comfortable mattress in the world. Yeah, I'm gonna say regardless of how comfortable it was, how comfortable it was supposed to be. Whew. I'm trying, like, I want to write what she screwed then, but that doesn't, I don't want to end the chapter on that, or not that line, but something similar to it. Was the room doomed to be... Was the room doomed to give her and others nightmares? there is a trick to sleeping in that room. Don't know if you guys have figured it out yet. I haven't called it out in this story yet. But it should be kind of obvious. But that's fine. I don't even know if I'm going to bring it up. I might, eventually. Alright. Okay, chapter 10. Let's see what we can churn out. Let's see what we have here. Emily muttered as she dragged the short, wide tote out from the space the first beneath her bed. Popping the lid off of the tote, she peered at what was at first 3 piles of books with random items shoved between them and the walls of the tote. Scrolling up. As she focused, she realized what the books were. A hodgepodge, because that word is fun, of old nonfiction, of old fictions, of old stories, a hodgepodge of old novels that she read in middle school, some personal short stories she wrote as class projects in elementary school, and a few older, more classic books that she received from her grandmother. But had to put away since she knew they would not be read by her teenage self. Emily bit her lower lip as she moved a couple of novels out of the way to pick up an old copy of The Secret Garden. Its binding it had a book cover that felt more like thick fabric than anything else, and the spine was so fragile it almost seemed to, I don't want to say rip, to crack, even as Emily handled the unopened tome. A book cover that felt more like than anything else, and the spine was so fragile, almost even as Emily handled the unopened tome. She was afraid. She was afraid to open it. Fact of the matter. She was afraid to open it. Taking a deep breath. Taking a deep breath. Emily's fingers found their way into the first, they found their way between a couple of pages, and she pried the book. She easily broke open just enough to ensure the words that were printed on the yellowed paper were legible. And ignoring the groan of the book spine, she closed the book again and set it off to the side. She still likely would never read it, but it was her grandmother's. And for that reason alone, it would not find its way to the donation pile that she promised her mother that she was creating, that she would create. And for that reason alone, it would not end up in any eventual donation pile. Going through the rest of the box was going through the rest of the box episodes of nostalgia swept over Emily as she continued to go through the box. The day she picked up a book, memories of events that happened while she was reading some of these books, emotions that occurred when she purchased or finished some of the other books. The elementary school stories that she wrote. Although she almost forgot why, the substance of the stories, she remembered exactly what prompted her to write them. The box, although she had opened the box with the intention of revisiting memories from her childhood she did not expect. To spend as long as she did with each item that she picked up out of the box. When she finally emptied that first box, setting a fabric doll off to the side in the donation pile, she looked up. She felt her stomach growl in protest. She being brought back to reality from her body's being brought back to reality thanks to her body's message. She glanced at her alarm clock, It was almost noon. She had been digging through this one box for nearly 5 hours. 5 or 6 hours. Alright. I think that's a good ending point. So tomorrow we will either pick up here or we'll be playing Palia, as I've mentioned a few times already. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I do appreciate all of the chatter that you guys bring to the chats and the interaction. And what I am going to go ahead and do now is I am going to run a 3-minute ad break just for the end of the stream. Give me a sec. Well, actually, just for the end of the Twitch stream. Obviously, YouTube, you guys don't get ads like that at this time. Well, I don't think you guys get them during any streams, so that's cool. Obviously, when it's on VOD, then you'll probably get stuff like that. But what'll happen is I'm going to set something up where sorry, my timing might be off on this, but basically I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream, and then on the you should see the offline page on Twitch. If you have, basically if you see ads, you're going to see about 3 minutes worth of ads. It's just another way to support me, and then after 3 minutes or so, the stream should cut off. So thank you all again so much for joining me. I always appreciate it, and I will be back sometime tomorrow afternoon. Thanks for joining. Bye.